Hi folks, welcome, welcome. 2nd of April, 2nd of April no less. Let's see, are we in the picture? I'm using a different tripod and which I don't really like. We'll just see how we go. Yeah, I'm just here. Just had a workshop over the weekend, this last weekend, and yes, we had Kathy from Exeter, New Hampshire. Hello to Kathy. We had Marie and Sondra from Lewistown, Pennsylvania. Hello to you guys. And we had Dan and Joan from New Jersey. Hello to you. Good to have them. We had a workshop of practicing, demonstrations, a lot of learning going on. So yeah, what I'm actually doing at the minute, I'm trying to make some more of these guys quickly for this firing I'm about to do. And I realized that I didn't have any of these, and some people have been asking me for them, so I'm going to quickly make some more and get them in this firing. These ones were raw glazed and once fired up to cone 10. They were 13 ounces of clay, and these ones were made 5 inches tall. Well, I'm going to use the same weight of clay, 13 ounces, and instead of making them 5, I'm going to make them just a little bit bigger. I'm going to make them 5 1/4. But I'm not going to up the clay. I think I can just make them bigger with the same amount of clay. So here goes. I've set the gauge. I've made already 3 over there. So here we go. Cone up, center down. You only need to do that like 1 time, really. Just hoping my water pot is not in the way there. We'll move. I'll switch over to the other tripod in a minute. Just wanted to get a different angle. So forming the base. Lifting the clay. Keep your inside fingers just a bit above your outside fingers, remember. Pulling up, looking for the belly, and now coming in. Coming in. It's fairly narrow-footed, sort of springing up to the belly, you know, quite a nice, they've got a nice feel to them, these, in terms of they're not dumpy looking, you know, they've got a bit of, they've got a fairly narrowish foot, which gives them a nice bit of lift. Alright. Looking for the gauge. Okay, I'm touching the gauge. Bring it in. Bring it in. Now we've got to concentrate on the shape. getting the form right here at the top. Now of course there's always a danger, you know, if you try and make a piece that is too thin, that can happen. So recently I had some tankards which I made them fairly thin, you know, they were fairly finely thrown, and yet when I put the handles on, I didn't pay enough attention to the handles. I just put them on like I usually do, and then in the firing I noticed that where the handle was on that side of the tankard, it was the weight of the handle here was warping the top of the pot, you see, because that weight of that handle they may have been a little bit on the heavy side, those handles, and being then on the side of a rather finely thrown form was causing, during the firing, because of course in the firing the pots are, I mean, they're semi-molten, you know what I mean, so the pot didn't have enough rigidity in the top of the pot, it was too fine, and the weight of the handle caused it to warp. Just things to think about. Okay, straight through with that, wipe hands. Okay, let's lift this guy off. I'm going to lift these off like this. Put him down. There. Now, I'm hoping. Ooh, my stove is belching smoke, I see. Means the wind is changed round. The wind, always windy here. Let's do another one like this, and then I'm going to switch over to the tripod, the other tripod. No, actually, why don't we... I've got a different idea. Another idea. Let me see if I can put this... It's a funny kind of tripod, this. It's a weirdo tripod, in fact. I don't really like it at all. I came across it at a yard sale sometime last year, and I thought, well, maybe I could use that. It's kind of tilted over. It's not as adjustable as I... Alright, well let's do this one from that angle. And then we'll do a last one from a different angle. Just to cover all the bases, you know. Alright, a little bit of speed as we center. Cone the clay up into a... Just cone it up like that, and then push the top of the cone down, but keep the hand here to support it while you do that, and flatten it down again. Alright, there you go. There you go. Right, now down again. Down, I open out like that, and now form the base. Okay, lift that clay up. Keep it wet. You don't want any dry spots when you're lifting. If you hit a dry spot, your pot will end up going up and down like this, guaranteed. Make sure, you see how I water the pot, alright? It's the Vulcan sign, alright? The Vulcan sign over the top, and then you take the World Wide Web of your finger and put it over like that, and then take your water sponge and put it just there. You do that, you won't go wrong. Okay, into the foot there, push in, and now pull up. Bring it on up to the gauge, coming in a bit at the top there. Pinch it in a bit here. Push it in a bit. You've got to push the clay where you want it to go a bit, you know, as you, according to the form. Okay. Pull this up. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up. 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 Looking for the gauge. Looking for the gauge. Looking for the gauge. There it is. Over there. Oh, yes. We're there. Right, now I've got to finalise the form. I've got some height, but now I've got to neck it in here. You see? Okay. Now, if I can't neck it in, I'll use my fingers like this. You see? Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Now the final bit of the form down at the base will do with the throwing stick. So you want this, these are quite nice to drink out of because it's slightly flared at the top. Yeah. Just looking in my mirror there, I just think it needs a little bit more belly there. A little bit more belly please, thank you very much. Alright, now then, a throwing stick. Get yourself a decent throwing stick. It's your right hand man when you're on the wheel, your throwing stick. Make sure you have a decent one. Now, some of these commercial throwing sticks are not fit to be on a potter's wheel. Get yourself a decent one. I personally like these ones that have got like a 45-degree angle on the top. They've got a flat side here, and they're also thin, so I can use it as a rib. Alright, use it as a rib. Like I'm going to do now. You see, I'm using that as a rib. Carefully, just taking the slurry off the side of the pot. Like that. Just like that. Okay, next, chamois. Don't forget the whammy chamois. Very important that. And don't use a bit of horrible plastic. Do it right. Okay. Now then, to do the chamoising. Did you ever play that game? Scissors, paper, or stone? Okay, remember that one? So you're going to go for scissors, okay, this time. Scissors, hold your scissors, and then grip the end of your chamois in your scissors. Lay it over and take your thumb here and hold the leather to the lip of the pot. The other end of the float here, I'm holding in my hand, the other end of the leather, okay? So lay it over, bring that thumb down like that. Just lightly hold it, and away. Alright, that'll do. Okay, take your, no, we haven't used the sponge stick. Take your sponge stick, get down there, clean any water out, okay? Take your cut-off wire, clean it as you take it, okay? Slow your wheel down and straight through, like that. Okay, there we go. Now, let's take this guy over there. Right now we're going to lift him off like that. So I'm cleaning my fingers, and I'm going to get underneath it like that. We'll put him down there. Alright, now we're going to do one more, and now we're going to change the camera. We're going to go back to our usual spot. Just get this up. Sorry. As you know me, folks, my videos are not all that well planned. I just grab hold of the camera. This is that silly little tripod. What a silly little thing. If ever there was one. Right, now I've got to get this guy. Now I've got to screw this right on the bottom here. So just bear with me while I do that, in case we're probably going to go round the mulberry bush, alright? Don't worry about that. You know what I'm doing. Screwing that on like that. Good. Now we're going to I've got to locate it now, you see, in the top here. Stick that in there like that, and there we are. Oh, there we go. Okay, number 3. Take this and just fling it. A nasty little thing. Okay, so attach to the wheel head, cone it up. Now center it down. Get it on center. Take your thumb, center it right at the base. Breaking in. Breaking in. Form the base. Alright? Bring it in. Now we're going to get underneath it and start lifting it. And as you lift it upwards but inwards. So you form a little cone shape, a little volcano. Get underneath it again, down to the bottom. Bring that clay up. Bring it on up, bring it on up, bring it on up. There we go. Now remember, watering, vitally important. I mentioned this, so I'll keep mentioning it, but because it's so important, don't have your wheel going excessively fast. If you have your wheel going too fast, and a lot of people do, you are going to run out of water quicker than if you slowed down and went a little slower. Alright? It's a good tip. Because you see, the root problem why a pot goes wrong when people are throwing is because basically they run out of water and they don't realise they've run out of water. Okay? I'm speaking to somebody out there. You don't realise you've run out of water, okay? But you have, and your wheel is going too fast, and it just sets the whole pot up for flying out of balance, you know, because of the. And another thing you can do is, and I did a video on this, 3 tips not so long ago. When you're doing your lift, okay, don't dawdle around and be really slow about it, especially if your wheel is going extra fast. You know, you want to get your lift a little bit faster. A lot of people take too long once they start the lift. You want to get that clay up there, get your hands moving up the side of the pot, because you'll find fresh water on the side of the pot a little bit further up, you see. You'll see how I do it. Just do what I do. Look, take the water, put it there, right there. You see, the water will run off your fingertips. But make sure your fingers are actually in contact with the wall of the pot. Because if they're not, the water's still not going to go where you want it. Because that's what happens. I watch people doing this, you see. Okay, bringing it up. Now I'm coming in. Looking for the gauge, almost there, just looking for the belly there. So yeah, I've just started making these, so I'm just going to make a dozen or so. Looking for my rhythm, you know, you've got to find your rhythm when you're doing repeat wear. Yeah, that's what happens. You see, the first 1 or 2, you're just feeling your way, finding your rhythm, finding your groove, as they say. Finding your groove. See, a lot about repeat throwing is about. It's a little bit like, it's muscle memory. You gotta. That's why repeat throwing is so good, because you build muscle memory. in your hands and fingers. And clean the stick. Hold it to the pot like that now, gently up the side of the pot. Slightly at an angle, okay, like that. Not straight, at an angle. Why? Because you don't want the stick in contact with the side of the pot all the way up through the whole length of the stick. You just want it in one spot. Okay. Slightly tapered lip here, alright? Slightly tapered lip. Alright. I want you to have a go at trying to make these, okay? Those of you who can throw cylinders, of course, don't even attempt that if you can't yet throw a cylinder, because you'll be in hot water in more ways than one. So let's have a look. There's the gauge. You see it in relation to the gauge. Let's have a look at the form. Yeah. You'll see some in the background there that I've done. Yeah, so the early ones that I've done, they're okay. They're okay. I'm feeling my way with them a bit, you know. Each one, because they're hand thrown, will be just a little different one from the other. They will vary marginally. That is normal. Okay, but nevertheless we are aiming for some degree of consistency. That doesn't just happen, you have to work at it. Yes sirree, you've got to work at the consistency. It doesn't just come, you know, and you've got to be critical of yourself. You've got to get down like I'm doing now and have a look. Compare one with that. Yes, okay, I see that one there is, you know, it needs this one needs, it's not quite there, you know. You know, we're making handmade items with our hands. We're not 3D printing. Gosh. Oh, sorry. Sorry, tripod. I went to kick the wheel. And the leg of the tripod was right there. Sorry, that's just to wake you up in case you fell asleep. We don't want any of you sleeping on the job. Yeah, you see this, you know, I told you the other day I got a scratch in my lens. You see that light mark there as I move the camera? That's a dirty great scratch. Would you believe it? It doesn't really show itself there, does it, too badly? But anyway, okay. Did we cut him off? No, I don't think so. Okay, just slow down the wheel and straight through. Okay folks, this is probably a little bit of a long clip. I appreciate, but there's a lot of good tips there for you. Alright. So go away and have a go at these, practice these. These are 13 ounces, 5 1/4 high. Alright. The shape, you've got to eyeball it. If you want to come on a workshop, get in touch with me. Keep practicing workshops through the summer into the fall. Come on a keep practicing workshop. I think you will learn probably a lot more than you think you'll learn. And yeah, come and join us here in Milheim. Come to my studio and also go to my website, simonleachpottery.com. As I say, I'm going to be firing the kiln very shortly. There'll be pots up there as soon as we can get that done. Okay, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Keep practicing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.